So some of you guys caught a detail that I actually missed out on at the end of last week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, and that's when Universe 9 was being destroyed. You had the angel, Mojito, actually smiling at its destruction, like he was elated, like he was high on the shit. And when you couple that in with the fact that the Grand Priest is the father of all of these angels, supposedly, I mean, it's only Whis and Vados that's confirmed the children of the Grand Priest, but we can assume every single one of these angels is, because they all look like Whis and Vados for the most part. They've got the same color skin, they've got the same color hair, you know, they all look pretty similar. What do you know about parents? Well, parents are supposed to instill values into their children, sort of a reflection off of their own belief system, and we could assume the Grand Priest raised these different angels because their personalities are more alike than they're different. So whereas we've seen Whis and Vados the most out of all the angels, we have seen the other angels, and it seems like they're all somewhat indifferent to their own respective universe's destruction. But while these angels can't really be forced or expected to care about the fate of their universe, and you almost can't blame them because, I mean, they were promised to be spared from whatever happens to their universe. If their universe loses, they're spared. So it's almost like they got all this power, they could give some shitty advice to the gods, and in the end, they can really do what they want, even though they were given this assignment. They bear no responsibilities, and when you have a lot of power and it goes unchecked, that's what happens. You just stop giving a fuck. These angels do, however, have a choice of what emotions to express. So when Mojito is expressing emotions of happiness at his universe's destruction, being the son of the Grand Priest, I honestly gotta reflect that on to the Grand Priest. And it's not surprising that we're all talking about this because this is the same dude that is the brains behind ZENO's operation. ZENO's operation to eliminate some of these universes. He's the one who put it in ZENO's head. Now, we can't assume that every single one of the angels will act the same way as Mojito. For instance, I don't see Whis happy at Universe 7's destruction, right? It doesn't seem like he cares all that much. He even laughed it off, whereas Beerus is like, again, pissing himself at the thought of himself being wiped out, right? He doesn't want to be wiped out. Beerus wants to sleep, eat, do all the things he's been doing, right? Whis don't care. But I just don't get the vibe from Whis that he's going to switch up and just start laughing his ass off when his universe gets destroyed. I don't think he's going to necessarily be happy. Now, that's not to say that he's going to be sad either, because here's one thing about Whis that we do know so far in relation to this Tournament of Power. When it was brought up, he constantly put it in everybody's head that there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing Whis can say to the Grand Priest. Y'all have to accept this fate and follow the Grand Priest's orders. Now, if Whis cared to any degree about Universe 7, he would have said, listen, I'm going to try my best to talk the Grand Priest out of it, or at the very least, I'm going to express some concern to him. We haven't seen any of that. So at this point, we can only assume that he follows the same ideology and belief system that every single one of the other angels follows, including the Grand Priest. I don't think that they all have the same personality, but I think their end goal is the same. And Mojito's probably one of the dumber angels, one of the angels that can't really contain his emotions, in the same way that Vados can't really contain her emotions. I mean, she's there cracking jokes at Shoppa all the time, getting him involved in stuff that he shouldn't be involved in, and that's partially Shoppa's fault, right? We can't sit here and act like it's all her fault and it's all her doing, but at the very least, she promotes it. Whereas Whis seemingly doesn't. He's sort of indifferent, and if anything, maybe Whis would care more than every other angel, and he would be one of those fallen angels that disobeys the order. But that's also assuming too much, and we're not going to jump to any conclusions as of yet. Now, moving on to the Grand Priest so that we could better understand why Mojito was there smirking and shit, we don't know much about this guy. But one thing we do know about the Grand Priest is that he finds Goku to be very interesting, very amusing, and he's even entertained his ignorance, as Goku's there dealing with Zeno-sama like an idiot. And I find that very weird because when the exhibition match started, he did tell Goku to shut the fuck up when Universe 7 was taken on Universe 9. So to me, it feels like he used Goku as an excuse to do the things that he truly wants, because I truly believe it's the Grand Priest that wants all of these universes being erased. I mean, just think about it. Do you think Zeno-sama's really thinking, okay, we need to save the angels? Like, the angels are the ones that should be spared. I don't think Zeno-sama cares about none of that, right? And at the same time, if they really cared about, high-level mortals, well, why get rid of Basil, Lavenda, and Bergamo in Universe 9? Why not let the more powerful mortals live and move to different universes, right? I don't think this is about none of that shit that's being claimed what it's about. This dude was a lot more passive before the tournament started, and that's telling me that he was letting Goku's ignorance be the domino effect. And now that the tournament started, he wants to make sure the dominoes hit each other and it keeps the chain going. So now he's going to start acting more serious, like we've seen him act towards Goku in the exhibition match. Bottom line with this pattern, the Grand Priest is guilty until proven innocent, not the other way around. I don't know what his true goals are. He's apparently the strongest fighter in the multiverse, but yet he's acting like this. So you see, the Grand Priest is Zeno-sama's aid, in the same way that all these angels are the gods of destruction's aid. Something's telling me that his power pales in comparison to Zeno-sama. Despite him being the strongest fighter in the multiverse, I still think Zeno-sama is almost undefeatable, right? The Grand Priest cannot take him out alone, despite the fact that he clearly is smarter than him. Zeno-sama holds the true power, that real power. I think he possibly wants the erasure of every single universe. He's going to eliminate them slowly. If Universe 7 is the only universe that makes it out, he's going to eventually try and destroy that shit. And once he destroys every single universe, all the angels will get together, they'll join forces with the Grand Priest, and now they will have enough power to take down Zeno. And the new god will be the Grand Priest. I think that's the true Zero Mortals plan. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think I'm looking too deep into this? Again, still very early to call. The Grand Priest is indifferent. All the angels are somewhat indifferent.